Good evening. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person tonight, but I want you to know how grateful I am to receive this award. The Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund plays an important role in the struggle for equal rights, and I am honored to be recognized by such a distinguished group. Organizations like yours understand that defending the dignity of transgender individuals requires much more than a single law or policy. It requires action across our society, because we cannot call our society equal as long as our transgender coworkers face discrimination in the workplace. We cannot call our society equal as long as our transgender neighbors cannot feel safe in the neighborhoods they live in. And we cannot call our society equal as long as transgender youth are made to feel separate and unequal in the public schools where they go to learn every day. And that is why the work that you do is so important. Whether you are connecting the transgender community with culturally competent healthcare providers or ensuring that transgender students have safe and equal access to educational opportunities, you are on the front lines of ensuring inclusion and equality throughout the United States. As you know, the Department of Justice and this Attorney General shares your commitment to protecting the rights and dignity of transgender individuals. To advance that mission, we are using all the tools at our disposal, including investigations and litigation, policy and guidance, and outreach and community engagement. At the Department, we share your belief that overcoming discrimination and prejudice requires a multifaceted approach. We're working with police departments across the country to address harmful stereotypes and eliminate discriminatory policing practice. Because law enforcement is most effective when it treats every individual with the respect that he or she deserves. In Puerto Rico and New Orleans, for instance, we crafted agreements aimed specifically at eliminating policing practices that discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. And in Seattle, the police department recently developed a new policy with input from the Department of Justice regarding officer interactions with transgender individuals. And as we commemorate the 7th anniversary of the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act, we continue to engage directly with local communities on the issue of hate-motivated violence. In fact, last year, we organized a series of trainings in 5 states to teach local and federal law enforcement how to more effectively recognize, investigate, and prove hate crimes. We're also doing our part to guarantee transgender individuals access to the same employment and educational opportunities as their fellow Americans, because discrimination has no place in our offices and our institutions of higher learning. Academic institutions in particular are supposed to foster communication and expand our understanding of one another. That is why it was particularly troubling when Southeastern Oklahoma State University and the Regional University System of Oklahoma denied promotion and tenure to Professor Rachel Tudor after she began presenting as a woman at work. Our lawsuit against the university system alleges more than just intolerance. It alleges illegal sex discrimination. That kind of intolerance runs contrary to our highest beliefs and our most cherished ideals, and the Justice Department is determined to help end it. And we also issued, in conjunction with the Department of Education, a guidance document for public schools that receive federal funding so they can better understand their obligations to transgender students. Students whose education and well-being is their responsibility during the school day. Students who seek to learn and grow just like every other student in their care. And we continue to fight for the principles behind that guidance document in ongoing litigation across the country. In fact, this fight has increasingly come to rest on the shoulders of our young people. We also filed briefs on behalf of a brave young man named Gavin Grimm, both in the district court and before the Fourth Circuit, supporting his right to use the boys' restroom. Despite Gavin's victory in court so far, that case is not over yet. It's been appealed to the Supreme Court, and we will know soon whether they decide to hear it. But the position of this Justice Department could not be clearer. And of course, earlier this year, we filed a suit against North Carolina for its implementation of HB 2. Our message in that action is simple. We will not acquiesce to state-sponsored discrimination against individuals who simply seek to engage in the most private of functions in a place of safety and security. But as I've said all along, and as everyone present tonight knows well, this litigation is about a great deal more than bathrooms. It's about the dignity and the respect that we accord our fellow citizens, and it is about the most fundamental values that shape us as a country. That litigation is ongoing, but I want you to know that we are doing everything we can to achieve a just outcome, and I am proud to stand with all of you and so many other organizations, individuals, and institutions, both inside and outside of North Carolina, that have recognized that laws like HB 2 are not the path forward, and that they are on the wrong side of history and on the wrong side of the law. These are just some of the steps that we've taken to guarantee transgender individuals equality under the law. But we know this work is far from over, and that too many Americans still face discrimination in too many areas, from access to health care to their ability to vote in this November's elections. As long as those obstacles persist, the Department of Justice will continue fighting for the rights and the dignity of transgender individuals, indeed of all Americans. And we will continue to rely on organizations like yours to help us create a more inclusive, a more tolerant, and a more just America. Thank you once again for all that you are doing to create a brighter future for so many who thought that every door was closed against them and every hand was turned away. And thank you again for this humbling honor.